Paul cooked for me. We gisted. Of course, he hold my hand, look into my eyes. And Paul is such a gentleman. He didn't make me feel uncomfortable. There was no unusual touches. Trying to touch Bobby, or trying to touch Bobby, or trying to kiss, or any of those things. Before Paul would kiss, he would ask you. I remember our first kiss. So he looked at me like, Z, can I kiss you? I'm like, oh my God, such a gentleman. Wow. It was the next meeting. He asked me again, Zino, same words, he said the same thing. Zino, I'm falling in love with you, and every day I keep falling in love with you. Will you be my girlfriend? Everybody was shy. I'm not sure. Yes. Oh my God. Wow. Welcome back to my channel. Okay, so welcome to part 2 of how we met. Thanks, baby. Okay, so if you watched the part 1, we ended the video where Paul,
this was from part 1, by the way.
Yeah, where Paul had told me that he wasn't ready for a relationship after our first meeting, and canceling our second meeting, telling me he wasn't ready for a relationship. So that was where we ended. But we're here, so how did we get here? What happened between then and now? This was in January of 2020. He told me that, yeah, you know, babe, I don't think I can do this anymore.
January of 2021.
Yeah, January of 2021.
Yeah.
We're like, yeah, you know, I can't do this.
Can't do a relationship right now.
Yeah, and I went and blocked you. Blocked you on eHarmony. But I left you on WhatsApp. I just left you on WhatsApp because I knew that you were not going to be contacting me there. I didn't block you anywhere. I was just on eHarmony. I didn't want to give you a privilege to see my pretty pictures.
Is that really the reason?
No, just kidding. Okay, so continue. Tell them.
Yeah, so around March or so of 2021, I had been sorting things for the past couple of months, and I was getting to the point where actually felt really ready for a relationship, I guess is the word. And so I was gonna go cast my line in the water and see what I can find, and I had also decided that I was going to move to Toronto from Oakville. Toronto's a massive city by Canadian standards, and I thought, you know, if this online thing doesn't work out, then I'll meet someone in Toronto. And then in April, I thought, well, gee, I really liked Zino. Like, God, I can't, what a bummer. Like, I shut that down, but I really liked Zino. I was looking at her past messages. I was like, God, this was nice, you know. This had a lot of promise. I thought, well, shit, if I just do nothing, then I'll get nothing, right? And I thought, I can send her a message and see how she's doing, and I can kind of subtly poke around to see if she's still on the market for dating, you know, go in with my clever strategy. And so I sent her a message on WhatsApp. I was like, hey, how have you been doing? Yeah.
I remember when that message dropped in my phone, and I'm thinking, okay, why is Paul Pellegrini sending me a message? God, is this a sign?
Oh, wow.
Because at the time where we left things, when he told me that, you know, he couldn't proceed, I'm like, okay, well, what would be right? If he comes back, fine. Because I felt like this relationship was right. And why will a relationship that my instinct tell me is right end that way? I'm like, well, whatever, you know, if it works, it works out. So when he said, like, God, is this that side? I'm like, okay. The message you sent was, how are you these days? I'm like, I remember I was in the lab that day. I look at my phone again. Okay, Paul is messaging me. I respond. I'm like, I'm good. I think you went straight to the point. Like, are you still
No, I didn't.
Okay, so we had a bit of conversation here and
I was
there.
asking you if you'd found an assistant. I was asking about your research because you had some
I had some problems
in
then.
your
Yeah,
research.
yeah.
No, because in my mind, I thought, okay, if I just go cold straight to the point, it's going to be very abrupt. So let me
ease into
it.
Yeah,
you know?
you like to ease into things, baby. Okay. Yeah.
And then at some point, I was like, so are you seeing anybody? And
yeah, and I remember telling you that I'm not seeing anybody, but I've been chatting with one guy. Remember
in Japan.
That guy in Japan, yeah. And I've been chatting with this guy, and at the back of my mind, I'm thinking that, yeah, do I really want to deal with this whole Japan thing? Like, and my brother had already warned me then. Like, are you not tired of stress? Like, is there nobody in Canada for you to date?
Canada's like 6,000 kilometers wide. It's like 4,000 kilometers tall. And Zeno's chatting up this guy in Japan.
Yeah, so we had that conversation. We talked for a few days, and I think that we suggested that we should meet again. It was during the week we met this time. It was on a Thursday.
A Wednesday.
Okay, on a Wednesday, yeah.
It was Wednesday.
Yes, I remember it was a weekday in the evening after work.
Yeah, and sunset had moved further into the day at that point.
Exactly, yeah.
Because you don't get this variability in where you come from, right?
No,
but
we
don't.
Here
it's like the day in the summer runs, the sun's up at 6 in the morning, it sets
at 9 p.m.
Yeah, where I grew up, it actually set closer to 10 p.m. because we're further north. Very long days, sunny, beautiful. And then in the depths of winter, in late December, the sun is up at like 8 in the morning and it's down before 5 p.m.
Yes.
It's depressing.
Yeah.
But by April, the time pushed forward an hour and so sunset would have been 7, 8 o'clock by then.
Yeah. Yeah, so and I remember I'm like, yeah, this is the weekday. You need to come closer to me if you want to meet. So
because the Victoria Park was quite a jog for you.
Yes.
Even though it was in Kitchener.
Exactly. And another thing that was very important and made it clear that you're not coming to my house, you are not seeing my son. I am not introducing my son to you. I need to know that this relationship is solid. I'm not introducing my son to A, Mr. B, Mr. C. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that to my child.
And one thing about that, for me, was I liked that, right? Because the truth is, one of the things that I had trouble with in my previous relationship was that I couldn't picture having this person be the mother of my children, right? And when I saw Zino looking out for her son like this, I thought, yes, this person, this Zino lady, she is being a good mother. You know, she's putting her son first, and that's exactly what I wanted, right? I want someone who's gonna kick ass for their kids, right? I don't want I'm not gonna belabor this point, but suffice it to say that for me it scored points. I was like, yeah, this is a good mother.
Yeah, so I remember you came that day and we met outside, right? And I'm like, okay, yeah, so walk to that open park area.
Yeah, because we met at your house.
Yeah.
You had a friend come from out of town.
Yeah.
To look after Santo.
Yeah.
And we took a walk.
Yeah.
And we walked to that big soccer field, baseball field park thing that's just down the street, down Bridge Street.
Yeah.
And it was warm, but not super warm.
Yeah, I remember you giving me your sweater that day too.
To sit on.
Yeah, okay, yeah, to sit on. Yeah, I sat on the sweater. I wore a jacket from the house.
Yeah, and because we wanted to sit and talk, right? And I thought, well, I want to sit and talk with this lady. I didn't think to bring my picnic blanket. So I said, okay, she should sit on my sweater, and then we can have a nice discussion.
Yeah, we had a nice discussion that day. We talked a lot, and I remember telling you that, yeah, tomorrow is a school day. I gotta go now. And then before we knew it was time ran so fast. It was time to go home. I'm like, what again? Okay.
Yeah.
And that was the end of that second date. And I think from there, it's been, you see what happened from there, right?
Yeah, well, but there's more though, right? So, for number 3, did you come to Oakville, or did I go again to Kitchener?
No, you came again to Kitchener. This time was on the weekend, and we went to Victoria Park and we walked around the park.
Yeah.
And we talked that day. We were at Victoria Park.
That was a nice day.
Yeah, and then the next date after that, I came to Oakville. This Oakville date, the first time I went to Paul's house, is just so funny. I'm going to tell you the gist. I hope my friend Lizzie will be watching this video. So what happened on that day is that after Paul invited me to his place, and I was meeting him in his place for the first time, of course I care about my safety. So he sent me the address. He was living in like an apartment building. He sent me the address, but he did not send me the unit number. So I text my friend and I let her know where I'm going to. I give her the address, give her everything. I'm like, if I get there and I've not sent you a message in 5 minutes.
5?
Was it 5 or 10 minutes?
Wasn't it 30?
No, it can't be up to 30
Oh.
minutes. But if you are a bad guy, 30 minutes you'd have slaughtered on my body. That's who you are, right? So I didn't need to give that. I think it was 5 minutes.
Okay.
So I told her that if I don't send you a message, call the police. So I get there. When I get to the place, he comes down, help me park. The building, you have to pay for parking as a visitor. He had paid for parking. Like Paul takes care of everything. Wow. He had paid for the parking. Then he takes me up. I check the unit number. I enter. I start gisting. We start laughing. We cook. Do this. I forgot to send my friend.
Is that the day we cooked steak?
The unit. Yeah, we went out that day to buy to the grocery store and cook steak.
Yeah, that was good steak for you.
I forgot to send my friend this unit number. By the time I got to my phone, she had called. And then I'm like, hey, relax. She's like, what is wrong with you? Why are you telling me to relax? Where are you?
Thank God she didn't call the police, right?
Yeah. Because she had your address, just the unit number she didn't have. But she didn't call the police. Then I told her, girl, relax. I'm okay. I'm fine. It was so funny. Yeah, but that day we had a good time though. Paul cooked for me. We gisted. Of course, he held my hand, looked into my eyes. And Paul is such a gentleman. It didn't make me feel uncomfortable. There was no unusual touches. Trying to touch Bobby, or trying to touch Bobby, or trying to kiss, or any of those things. Before Paul would kiss, he would ask you. I remember our first kiss. He looked at me like, Z, can I kiss you? I'm like, oh my God, such a gentleman. Wow. I think we skipped that part of our first kiss. But anyway, so he made me feel very comfortable, and I didn't feel unsafe. I didn't feel scared. Like I had nothing to worry about. He was not trying to come close to use style to say, okay, let me lean on her and use my hand to be pressing breasts.
Well, in fact, didn't I tell you straight out that I didn't want to...
No sex. Yes.
Yeah.
Like it was this relationship, no sex.
Not like no sex ever,
Yeah.
right? But what I learned up to that point was, and it was confirmed in some of the reading that I had done about relationships and this stuff. You know, if you have sex right away, you're going to do it more because sex is wonderful. Everybody loves to have sex, right? It's enjoyable, but physiologically, the brain chemicals that come out when you're doing that are the bonding chemicals. And even if you're not a good match, you're going to bond with this person in a very deep way. You're going to get attached and you're going to think maybe you're in love when really
It's about the sex.
it was the sex that did it. And I you know, it was hard for me to bring it up. And it was also hard for me to commit to this in my own head, you know. But I was, you know, I was really shooting for the long term. I was shooting for a real, durable, wonderful relationship, right? So I said, okay, I don't want to have sex until I'm actually in love with you. I want the love to happen first, and then the
Let
sex
sex
can
be a
happen.
product of the love.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
forcing the relationship because we have had sex.
yeah, yeah. But even so, we had such a good time. You stayed so late. It ended up being that
I think I fell asleep on the couch. Like that, your couch
we
was
fell asleep
so
together.
comfortable.
We were cuddling.
Yeah.
We were cuddling.
Yeah, and fell asleep on the couch.
We wake up. It's dark out, and I'm like, Zino.
It was like 12 a.m. when we woke up.
Was it?
Yes.
It was like, Zino, you can't drive home like this at midnight in the dark, whatever. Like, it's not safe. Let me sleep on the couch. You can take my bed, and you can leave in the morning, eat breakfast, and drive safely, right?
Yeah.
And did you didn't you end up telling me to sleep in the same bed?
Yeah, we slept in the same bed. Yeah.
But I wasn't gonna try to like, oh, come sleep in my bed.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, and there was nothing happened that night. Like,
No.
a gentleman, we just slept, woke up in the morning, and I remember I had to leave that morning.
That was so hard to see her go. I loved our date that weekend. It was so nice.
Yeah. And I remember my friend on the way home when I called her. This my friend, like, what's wrong with you? Why did you sleep there? Why did you sleep there? So you just went to my house, I just went to sleep there. What's wrong with you? This scared shark guy. Anyways, yeah, so that was our second date, and
Third date.
Okay, that was the third date, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the third date. Actually, the fourth date.
Fourth, yeah.
Including that first
The
one
first-
before we broke up.
The prequel date.
The pre-breakup date. Even if we never started a relationship then. Yeah. And then, you remember, I think it was after then you came again.
Mm-hmm.
And that was when you asked me to be your girlfriend.
Yeah.
You know, nobody had ever asked me that question straight, like, be my girlfriend. I don't know, my relationships had just happened. Right? But this was the first time where Paul looks at me and he's like, Z, you took me to, you came to Kitchener again. Mm-hmm. You took me to my building. I forgot my charger at work.
Yeah, I remember that.
And you took me there and you held my hands and you were like, Zino, I've fallen in love with you. Will you be my girlfriend? I didn't even know how to answer that. Maybe we should put this in the next video. Say how Paul asked me to be his girlfriend.
No, let's keep it going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and then he's like, will you be my girlfriend? I don't think I answered that question that day because I didn't know how to answer it without yes or no. How do you answer that kind of question?
Yeah.
If somebody asks you, will you be my boyfriend? What would you say?
Well, if it was you, I would have said yes.
Okay.
If it was some other girl, I'd probably have said no, right? Because I was busy working on an investment here.
I think I never got to answer the question that day. It was the next time we met,
and that was okay with me, right?
Yeah.
Because I wanted her to reach her own conclusions in her own time, right? I'd much rather spend some time where she's making up her mind than, say, pressure her, for example, and it's like, fine, and then all of a sudden the relationship is no longer a healthy meeting of equals. It's I've kind of forced her into this, and it's not that's not, to me, that's not how you build a long-term healthy loving relationship, right? So yeah, I wanted to give her time and her space.
Yeah, so I think it was the next meeting he asked me again, Zino, Same word, he said the same thing. Zino, I've fallen in love with you, and every day I keep falling more in love with you. Will you be my girlfriend? I looked at them, I was shy and blushing. I was like, yes. Oh my god! Wow!
And I don't think Zeno knows this, but I was kind of alarmed that I was falling in love so quickly, right? It was not that we maybe we had known each other a month post, since getting back together for a second day. And so I was on Google and YouTube. I was looking like, how does it work? How does falling in love work? How long should it take?
Are you serious?
Yes.
You read about everything, baby.
Yes. So I was worried. I'm like, what's happening? And eventually I was like, you know what? I'm okay with this. It's natural. It's happening. It feels good. Feels right. So I went with it.
Yeah.
And it was wonderful when she said yes to me, because like, to me, if you're explicitly, intentionally saying yes, let's have a relationship, let's not be seeing other people, right? Because if she had been seeing other men at that point, like, that's fine, because we're just dating and getting to know each other, and she doesn't owe me anything at that point, right? But I wanted to take things up a level and commit to trying to build something real with this incredible woman, right? So, and is that when I got to meet Santo?
No.
No?
That wasn't when you got to meet Santo. So in the next video, we're going to talk about when you got to meet Santo and our engagement.
Okay. We'll clump those together. That's fair. That's fair.
Guys, we don't want to keep you too long again. So if you join us in the next video, in fact, before then, hit the subscribe button if you haven't. But in the next video, we're going to share how he got to meet Santo, and we'll also be sharing our engagement story as well. So you want to stay tuned here, and you want to hit the subscribe button. But in the meantime, like I always say, if I had not relocated to Canada, I would have missed this wonderful, amazing man. So if you know that you want to secure admissions, scholarships, loans, so that you can relocate to Canada abroad alone or with your family, your spouse, your children, to any high-income country to give yourself a better life, follow me on all of my social media handles at Zino Ojogbo. You find me on Facebook, Instagram, on TikTok at Zino Ojogbo. So that I share all of this travel abroad content, and so that you too can travel abroad. Until next time, take care and stay tuned. Bye.
Bye.